Do you remember the feeling of 1971? The evening news, the smell of a cigar, and that iconic living room at 704 Hauser Street? Welcome back. Today, we aren't just rewatching. We're stepping back in time with a clarity you've never seen before, thanks to our latest 4K AI restoration. Archie is about to face his biggest fear, a tiny needle. Get ready for a high-definition trip down memory lane in Archie Gives Blood. Close your eyes for a second. Can you smell that distinct clinical scent of a 70s doctor's office? The cold vinyl chairs, the crinkle of the paper on the exam table, and the slight sting of a needle that made even the toughest men nervous. For Archie, giving blood wasn't just about a needle. It was about his vital fluids. It was a struggle of old-world prejudices meeting a modern necessity. A struggle many of us remember vividly as the world began to change around us. Do you remember your first blood drive? Or perhaps a time you tried to talk a stubborn family member into doing a good deed? Tell me about those memories in the comments. I truly want to hear your stories. Now let's look at the spark that starts the fire. Mike is all set for his good deed, but the moment he asks Archie to join him, the air in the room changes. Notice Archie's posture. He doesn't just say no. He prepares for a verbal war. Watch Carroll O'Connor's face here. It is a masterpiece of acting. You can literally see the gears turning in his head as he searches for any excuse to avoid that needle. To Archie, his blood isn't just biology, it's his identity. And here it comes, the famous vital fluids argument. Archie isn't just being stubborn, he's convinced that his blood is a sacred bunker resource. It's a perfect example of how the show used humor to highlight the absurd prejudices of the time. Even Edith is stunned by this logic. The tension between Mike's modern idealism and Archie's old-school fear creates a comedic goldmine. It makes you wonder, how many families had these same heated debates back in 1971? Archie's logic was definitely one of a kind. Do you remember a family member who had their own unique theory for everything? Tell me about the funniest excuse you've ever heard in the comments. Mike's strategy. Now Mike knows exactly which buttons to push. He realizes that logic won't work on Archie, but challenging his manhood will. Watch the meathead at work. He's not just arguing anymore. He's daring Archie to prove he's not a coward. It's a psychological masterclass wrapped in a sitcom, Edith's Heart of Gold. And then there's Edith. Look at her face. She's caught between her love for Archie and her desire to see him do the right thing. She doesn't use insults. She uses that gentle, persistent kindness that only Edith Bunker possesses. Sometimes, her innocence is more powerful than Mike's loudest arguments. The internal tug-of-war. Look closely at Archie's eyes here. Carroll O'Connor is showing us the exact moment pride wins over fear. He hates the idea of a needle, but he hates the thought of Mike being right even more. This internal battle is what made Archie so relatable. We've all been there, trapped by our own ego. Archie finally gave in, not because of a change of heart, but because he couldn't stand being called yellow. We've all done something brave just to save face, haven't we? Tell me a story about a time your pride pushed you to do something you were terrified of. I'd love to read your stories in the comments. The clinical nightmare. The scene shifts to the blood bank. Notice the change in lighting. It's sterile, cold, and for Archie, it's a house of horrors. Carroll O'Connor's body language is brilliant here. He's stiff. His eyes are darting everywhere, looking for an exit that doesn't exist. Then comes the moment we've all been waiting for. Archie catches a glimpse of a real pint of blood. Watch his face. The color drains instantly. It's the perfect setup. The show doesn't need big special effects. It just needs Archie's pure, unadulterated terror at the sight of a little red liquid. And timber. The way Archie faints is a masterpiece of physical comedy. It's not a fast fall. It's a slow, dramatic collapse that perfectly captures his defeat. He tried to be the tough guy, but his biology had other plans. This is sitcom gold at its finest. I think we've all had a fainting moment. Maybe not at a blood bank, but perhaps when seeing a bill or hearing some shocking news. What's the one thing that always makes you feel a bit lightheaded? Share your fainting stories below. Back at 704 Hauser Street, and Archie is finally back in his throne. He's a bit shaken, maybe a little embarrassed, but in true Archie fashion, he's already finding a way to blame Mike for the whole ordeal. The house is quiet again, but the lesson remains. Archie's heart is big, even if his nerves are small. Looking at these restored scenes, it's not just about the jokes. It's about a family that stayed together despite their heated debates. Archie and Edith represented a world that was changing fast, and for many of us, they feel like old friends. Keeping these memories alive in HD is our way of saying thank you to a classic era. Thank you for spending these 10 minutes with me. It truly means the world. Before you head off, tell me, which Bunker family member do you relate to the most? Archie, Edith, or maybe you're the meathead of your family? Share your thoughts, hit that subscribe button for episode 5, and I'll see you in the next trip down memory lane.